Yo, what's good? It's your boy King Haas. You live and direct. We tune into another episode of WHCR Late Night New York 90.3 FM. Shout out to the whole City College family. Shout out to the station manager. Shout out to Kazaya. Shout out to Brother Wally. Shout out to the whole team. Um, right now, man, we're gonna do something different. It's the first time interviewing an actual published author.
Wow, really?
First time on the show. Yep.
Wow.
So I appreciate you. Toya,
Thank
what's
you.
going on now?
Thank you.
Introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shatoya. Call me Toya. So yeah, like you said, I'm a published author. I have two poetry books. Both of them written and published by myself. So I'm pat myself on the back for
Definitely,
that.
definitely. That's a lot of work. Definitely.
Yeah.
So now, let's get into the poetry, the spoken word. First of all, what motivated you to even go ahead and start getting into spoken word?
So, I feel like I was a rapper. When you're younger, it's like, you know, your the talent of writing is like is great because you could do so many things with it. You short stories, poetry, spoken word. They're different. You know what I mean? Rap music, R&B, film. Like
Versatile.
yeah, writing is a very versatile thing. And I feel like I tried rap first, like it came easy to me. And not that wasn't an avenue for me, it just wasn't an available one.
I understand.
I still had to write.
I
I still had to, put my thoughts down. Sometimes I was in situations where, all I could do was write. You know what I mean? Or, I
That
didn't
passion
have,
was always there.
right. I didn't have access to the studio or, friends who, were interested in those things at that time or, whatever the situation was. And the passion never left. And, wherever there was a pen and a paper at,
You was on it.
I was on it. So
That's a big part of your story, and it's cool how you bring that up because people don't understand the trials and tribulations of an indie artist. The hustling up the money for the studio time, the trying to book shows, trying to do you're doing it basically by yourself.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you don't got the people around you that's really supporting you or whatever, or pushing you toward that situation or whatever, sometimes you might get discouraged or you might want to go ahead and say bump it. But in your case, you like, nah, I'm gonna keep on writing because I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. So when do you get to the point where you start feeling like, oh, you know what, I could actually go ahead and put this together and actually publish it?
I think you get to that point when, sometimes your back is against the wall and it's like, when you feel like you tried everything or, you know what I mean, things are not working out for you and, in another sense. And it's like, I have this here, you know what I mean? And I can do something with it, you know what I mean? I may not be in the studio putting this down, but, I put it together, somebody's gonna feel something from this. Somebody's going to, you know what I mean, catch a line or, you know what I mean, a verse or, just something that's going to resonate with them.
Yes.
In a way that's, going to push them forward because that's basically, even though I might be a little rough around the edges, but my story is not being told to, glorify anything, but to, help other people if I'm able to do that. And so I think that was my ultimate motivation, the thing that pushed me to go forward. It was like, I don't have this gift for a reason.
Yeah,
like there's no way someone just sits down and writes books and writes, all these things, and it's just like for no reason whatsoever. All. So
it's a part. It sounds like to me, not trying to cut your wisdom off, it's a part of your healing process.
Yeah, that part. That part, definitely. And I think I've always been one of those people that wanted to, be that person for someone else. And so if me writing this down is helping me heal, and then I could give it to you, and it's gonna help you, then why
You all
not do
for it.
that?
So now let's get into, because a lot of people don't know, and on this show we like to teach the breakdown of the actual process of writing an actual book.
Um, it's easy and it's difficult.
Uh-huh.
So the easy part is writing it down, because if you're a writer, you're gonna write down how you feel. You know what I mean? Especially like I wrote my book. Some people they get help, you know what I mean, from writers. They want to tell their story, but they're not able to, verbalize it in a way where they feel like it's interesting. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But like I write the stuff myself. So I think writing is the easiest part. Um as far as having you know, the confidence that somebody's going to believe in your story as much as you do, or you know what I mean, the tact to be able to say, this goes here, this should be told in this order, or I want to put this in or leave this out, or you know what I mean. That's where it becomes difficult. But as far as like organizing and saying, what, I want to publish a book. Once you write it down, and you know now they have like digital editors, but if you're gonna if you want something to happen, you're gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? So if you need an editor, you might find out today, oh, I wrote the book, now I need an editor. That's your next move. You're gonna go find an editor, someone to edit your book. And then, okay, I need an editor. After I do that, then which self-publishing company do I want to use? Okay, this one has this one has that. This is what works for me. You know what I mean?
I
Then
understand.
you go and you inquire with them, and then okay, this costs this amount of money. And then like you said, there's the hustle. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I gotta pay this bill, I have to do that, but this costs this amount of money. So when am I gonna have this amount of money to be able to put up to do this with? And then you go from there. It's not easy, but if you are determined, then
You're going to make it happen.
you're gonna make it happen.
So, it's, I appreciate you breaking down that process. So, in the mix of the process, I'm pretty sure it might be certain days where you frustrated. You might, you ready to pull your hair out. You might be saying, "Man, I'm over my head." So, like, for those who are watching, like, what was some things that you had to do in order to go ahead and push past those trials or tribulations to go ahead and accomplish what you accomplished?
So the first thing I want to say is remember the why. Like, like why am I doing this? I think, whether it's for your children and you feel like, I want to be the best version of myself for my children, or, I want to be the rich aunt, whatever it is, I want to get out the hood, or, whatever your why is. I think that's first and foremost, and that's going to, push you to, go in a direction that you want to go in. So that's the first thing to remember. And then, pray.
Yeah.
You gotta put God first in everything.
Facts.
Whatever
Facts.
you believe in. You might just believe in the universe, if that's your God, or whatever it is that you believe in. I believe that has to be present in everything you do, because like the world is
Yeah.
this world is crazy.
Especially nowadays,
Yeah, full of demonic things, demonic people. You know what I mean? Yeah, some people it is intentional. You know what I mean? Some people it's learn things from their environments, and some people it's not intentional. It's just the way they were brought up, or the environments they grew up in. You know what I mean? Being a product of your environment. Being raised in a certain kind of home, or you know what I mean, certain neighborhoods, or
Definitely.
whatever it is. But you have to protect yourself at the
At
at
the
the end of the day.
you
I
definitely
listen,
do.
sister, brother, I understand. And I respect that that's what you went through. That's where you came from. But, when it comes to me,
We gotta move a certain way.
we have to move a certain way.
And nah, I rock out with that, and I appreciate how the whole breakdown that you just gave just now, man. Because a lot of people sometimes they forget that part of it, So now, in the mix of putting everything together, when do you see, as far as like, I'm talking about the book now, when do you see like, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, it's about to be lit?
I don't know because I'm gonna be honest with you. Authors, the light at the end of the tunnel, I feel was like, you know, the accomplishment saying, you know what, I wanted to write and publish a book, and then having it to where as you wrote and published a book, the light at the end of the tunnel is not someone buying 1 million copies of of your book, or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. There gonna be some people that you just swore up and down was gonna be there to support you, and they not even gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they,
that's real.
they not even gonna show up. So, I feel like the closer you get to, like they say, the devil's always working.
That's a fact.
And so, they once 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, 2
Mm-hmm.
steps forward, 3 steps back. You know what I mean? And the closer you get to your yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you feel like I have the light at the end of the tunnel. Like when you have paid the publishing company, and your editing is done, your illustration is done, and and that's just with anything. Like if you're making a rap song, you know what I mean? After you paid for the beat, and you got your the publishing rights, and you know what I mean, you went to the studio and they mastered the song, and now you had enough money to pay so they could put it on the radio, or what I
Ready
mean,
to rock
pay
and
your
roll now.
plug, or now you ready to, I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you hit that light, you gonna be looking for another light.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, for real. I respect that. So describe that feeling, right? Like I remember, cause I've been doing music on and off for years. So I remember the first time I made my first song, right? And to me, it blew my mind because it was like the first time I heard myself on the whatever, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's me. You know what I mean? So describe that feeling where you finally got that first hardback, and you got to look at your book right there in front of you, and you got to grab it and read through the pages. What the first time? What's the feeling? What's the
You want me to be honest?
uh-huh?
Like, it'd be so hard for me to like read my stuff back. Like, it took me a long time. I used to hear my song on like, they'll play it on Spotify, just like playing it. I used to fast forward it. Like, it takes a while. You know why? Because that's real. You know what I mean? So it's like that stuff came from your heart, and sometimes it's like recollecting, you know what I mean, old thoughts and memories, things you wanted to get past, but it's a healing process. So when you do finally, get that like, damn, I did this. Because sometimes you be amazed at the stuff that you can accomplish because you saying it to yourself, you know what I mean? And, at some point you start believing it. But when you first start saying it, you don't really, you know what I mean? It's like there's nothing tangible. So I cannot see anything, but, I want to believe this. But then when it really happened, you like, oh, shit.
I actually
Like,
did
oh,
this.
I actually did this. I'm proud of myself. So, I mean, I had that moment. I think it was after my first book. Yeah. And then, that just gave me motivation.
Basically, keep it
going.
pushing. What's the name?
Tall Glass of City. So, yes, very unique name.
Very unique name.
Yes. Tall Glass of City.
I like that title though. That's a catchy title.
Thank you.
I like that title. I do. Now, I hear from a lot of authors that when they want to go for their second book, it's kind of harder because it's kind of like they feel like nothing could top. And these are artists that haven't done 30, 40, 50 books. They feel like nothing could top that first book or whatever, the euphoria behind that. So when you start on the second book, how's what's the process, writing process like? In your mind, you got to top the first one, or you just back to normal?
Me, I'm back. No, I'm not paying my first one no mind.
Copy.
I get that there's like again, like making music. You make that first hit song, it's like, yo, my next song gotta be a banger. But if you doing stuff from within, it's like you're not going. You are your greatest competition. So yeah, that was great. but I can't say that again.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? I had to find, something new to say. And now what I have new to say is just as interesting, or if not even more interesting than what I said before.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm gonna compare to that one, make sure, but it's like this is a separate work of art.
Okay, I understand
It's
that.
not the same thing. So, you get one, you might get hot from this one, you might get cold from that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So I like the fact that it's unique, and I don't have to put my books in competition with my other books.
I like that too. Dope. So it's kind of like I get what you're coming from. I get what you're saying. So it's 'cause I feel like with writing, every time you go ahead and write, it's a different emotion.
That part.
Different emotion. And it's kind of like, that's why I felt like I've done ghostwriting work before, but it's kind of hard for me because can't nobody duplicate me.
Yeah. Right.
And I might not be able to duplicate that person because I don't. I mean, I can understand what type of person that person is, but it's just, it has to be some type of emotion
Right.
attached to it or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope because it's kind of like you're doing something that is giving people motivation when they go ahead and step out there and take the chance to go ahead and follow up on things and just keep on pushing and accomplish their goals and dreams. So you actually are walking inspiration, whether you realize it or not.
I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. No, seriously, because I don't be like getting up in the morning like, yo, I'm an inspiration. I just be, like, no, regular.
Nah,
You know
for
what
real.
I mean? Like, I want to be the best I can be. I want to come. Of course, I definitely, especially for the youth. You know what I mean? And like, even for some adults, we all learn. I feel like if you're not teachable, then what are you doing for real? I don't care how old you are not too old to learn.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So for the youth, or for anybody for that matter, I definitely, don't mind being someone that you look at and say, if she could do it, I could do it.
Exactly. And you not take, you know what I mean, and definitely just embrace that. And because at the end of the day, especially in our community, we need that. We need more people. Not just for you, like you said, for the people that's older as well, because sometimes, you might be in your mid late 30s and might get discouraged with certain things, and you might feel like, I can't do this, and then you see somebody that's your comrade, or you know what I mean, your homegirl that's like, oh nah, she writing books, she's doing this, she's doing that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and you sometimes people inspire us and you don't even know who you're inspiring. So like I said, you just keep on being a walking inspiration.
Thank you.
Nah, no doubt, for real, for real. So
Thank you.
before we go ahead and head out, of course plug the products in, but before you plug the products in, all other aspiring authors, what are words of wisdom and words of inspiration that you could give them?
The words of inspiration that I could give all aspiring authors: don't give up, don't stop writing, be genuine, be yourself. Like, that's if your genuinity is writing ratchet hood books, no, seriously, that might be, people read those. So you know what I mean, that's what you're good at. That's what you genuinely
Stick
do.
to your
Then
niche.
you do that. You write self-help books, or you know what I mean, stick to your meat. You know what I mean. So season it up. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
and serve it. People gonna eat it like that. You
That's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean. So yeah, just be yourself and don't stop.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Before we go, man, tell them where they can find them products. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean, y'all need to support black authors, support women black authors. So tell them where they could go ahead and find those products at so they could buy and support.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Shatoya. You can find me on Instagram at speak SPEEK _, or you could use my name Shatoya SHATOYA. I have a link tree there You can find my books, Tall Glass of City, and Closing This Chapter, as well as my music, Run It Back and So Serious. But besides that, the books are both on Amazon. And Tall Glass of City you can also find in Walmart and Barnes and Nobles.
There we go. We see getting that Walmart money. All right.
Don't forget, hit the link in my bio also. Scroll over to my page with my beauty products, natural and organic skin and hair care products. It definitely works. So you know, I'm outside.
Yeah, she hustling. She getting it.
You know, you guys inspire me to be better, and I just want to inspire you too.
And that's what we do over here. We go ahead and we inspire the people, and we gonna keep on inspiring. We appreciate you. And y'all know what it is. It's WHCR 90.3 FM, late night New York. It's your boy King Haas. I got Toya in the building. Support black authors. We out.